guys. It's currently 4:11 a.m., right? It's very early. Point being that I couldn't sleep, right? I'm sort of like in a really weird state, and this is my car channel, but it's also like my sort of digital diary. But yeah, I'm still trying to figure out a lot of things, but at least my plan for tonight is to get to work. Okay, now I'll head to the office and sleep. Namaste. Thank you. That's my security guards. But yeah, um, I'm really exhausted. I just really can't sleep for some reason. I think it's possibly like due to how this weird state I'm in. Okay, so truth be told, I love my work, right? I love how challenging it is. I like the difficulties of this work. I feel like I'm really pushed to my limits in a good way, though. I do feel myself getting better at the stuff I'm doing at work, etc. But I've come to reach this weird state where I'm overly compensating. Not in terms of my lifestyle, etc., but I'm compensating in terms of my free time, right? So with my current work arrangements, I'm seeing like what 12-hour work days, 10, 11, 12-hour work days. And it's exhausting, right? I finish work, I'm too tired, I just sit in the parking lot to really reflect. And once I've done my reflecting, then only I start driving home. By the time I get home with all my responsibilities and whatnot, and I'm about to sleep, it's about like what 12 or 1, right? And it doesn't help. I feel like I'm in a really difficult spot. And it's so late to a point where I'm exhausted, but I feel like I didn't have my day. I felt like my day was given to somebody else or something else, in this case, my work. And then it will cause me to sleep later, which in turn gets me really tired and drained at the start of the morning, leading me to not perform as well and needing to work extra hard during those 12 hours, right? And I think that comes with, like, don't get me wrong, right? The pay is good. If you think about it, I haven't worked here for too long, right? I think we just reached the 1 year mark, but in the span of this 1 year, I've gotten a promotion, right? And now I'm getting a promotion soon, next month, and my package will be rediscussed. And I'm in one of the highest paying firms in my industry. But I don't know, I feel like my days are numbered. It feels like, go from this time to this time, you're a slave, you gotta do this and that. And then from this time to this time, your only free time is spent sleeping. And once you're done with that, you use your phone, etc., and then you don't feel tired. And I don't know, I feel like I fell for like a trap. Like the pay is really, really good, right? I'm not gonna lie, it's allowing me to afford this lifestyle I want. But I feel like I'm only able to afford this lifestyle on a weekend, because on weekdays it's just me, work, little bit free time. And yeah, you might think, hey, you're complaining, life's good, you have it all sort of covered. And maybe I am sort of spoiled in that sense. But, like they say, work is supposed to be tough. I have that sort of understanding where, or not really, I have that sort of programming in my body to really enjoy hard and punishing work. I enjoy work that's difficult, I enjoy the challenge when it comes to solve problems which I've never solved. I enjoy the difficulty in my work, etc. But recently, it's just been really draining. You get to your work. You sleep late. You wake up late. You get to work on time, right? Because it's me. I can drive fast, right? Then after you get to work on time, you get stuck in the jam before getting to work. You go there, then your mood is all over, right? So I don't really know the fix for this. I don't really have an answer for this. I just feel like this is where my life is heading to. Like, I still like my work. I'm not sure if I'm defending it, but I like the pain at least. I feel like I'm sort of in that process where, okay, back then I couldn't do much hard work, right? I'm not used to the work culture. Now I'm super used to it. I feel I'm pushing myself 24/7, but I feel like the returns aren't as worth it. But no, I got this car. I love this car. I love shooting content with the car, and I feel like my work paved the way to allow me to do all of this. But at the same time, I really feel drained. Yeah, I feel like life. There is more to life than working, right? Let's all agree on that. That's the baseline. But it seems like I'm not really. I don't really know the answer to why I'm doing this or what I'm doing. I mean, also far throughout my life, I've been living with this sort of positive thing in mind. Right? There's this saying I really like. There is no key to happiness. Happiness is the key. And I do think that my happiness and joy with the daily minor things really helps me fully enjoy my life. Right? Getting to eat nice food, doing small purchases, driving my car, completing difficult tasks. Those are all things I enjoy. But it comes to a point where I still look forward waking up to go to work, but then I hate how little free time I have. I hate that spending most of my time in the office. Maybe that this is why I intended. I keep forgetting that this was what I wished for. This is my dream job, my dream industry, and all this was stuff I wanted in university. But it's really wearing me out, and it's making me more impulsive recently, which isn't usually the case, right? I feel that's really disturbing my sleep. Like I have tons of stuff that I own in terms of my work, but it's not cause I'm doing it badly. I'm still delivering tons of stuff, but I just felt like the request just doubled and tripled. We had two people in our team recently. One of them left the team to go to a different department. Another one basically just quit altogether, and then their workload is shared between the current members. Yeah, I mean that's logical, right? It should be shared among the current members. But what I'm seeing is that I'm not used to handling this amount of work. I keep thinking that it'll improve, but at the rate at which my team is going, we'll get more and more workload as we sort of get footing into this industry. As we sort of know what sort of business lines we want, we sort of know what we are aiming at for, etc. We'll only get more work. And I don't mind having more work, I just hate how little time I have at the end of the day. But I keep telling myself, let's do this for at least 2 or 3 years, so you don't seem like a quitter, right? And I agree. I think that I should be able to iron out of this, but I do feel that there is some difficulties in doing so, right? Like I know I can still hold on for about half a year, but what about the me in half a year, the me in 1 year's time? What would he feel like? Know, at that point, am I even myself anymore? Or am I just a shell of myself? I don't know, because I feel like what's really harrowing about this sort of work and task is that you get so worked up, so stressed about all your deliverables, and then you get really fed up with all your stuff. And then on your off days, you start worrying about the work that's about to come on Monday. But you don't want to do the work on the off days. You try to segregate work and life balance. But then when it comes to the actual weekends, you just can't help but stop. You can't stop thinking about the actual work days coming soon. I feel like that's an endless loop. I think it's something our parents and the generations before us have sort of acknowledged. And I think, yeah, it's something I need to learn. Right? I don't think I'm lacking by any means, but I feel like it's quite difficult at that point. But maybe work isn't supposed to be as tough as this is. I'm in a Chinese company. It makes sense that not a lot of human rights policies here. But I would have hoped that I got better at what I'm doing. I would have hoped that after 1 year I get a sort of clarity about where I'm going or what I want to do, what I want to achieve. But that feels like it's getting further away. I mean, look, I'm only here for the money. I think at the end of the day, I love work, right? I'm here for the money. I love work, both of which are really good. But like, I don't know how long this will last. And I'm not saying this from a position of defeat. Like, I don't think like, oh, this will be the way it is till the end of time, right? I feel like I'll figure out things I want to do, figure out things I like, get better at my work. But then this is what it feels now. This is my 1 year check-in with my work. And truth be told, it's not getting easier. It's only getting harder. Even now, I'm sure you're wondering, you can't sleep at 4 a.m. What are you doing driving to the office? I'm thinking that I did the math, right? If I went to sleep just now, I will wake up sometime at 9 and I have to drive for an hour to work. As compared to now, I drive to work, it's only 15 minutes. I get into the car parking lot, I take a nap in the car parking lot. I would have my engine shut off, fill my cabin with cold air, and it should work. In theory, I should be able to get a solid 5.5 to 6 hours of work, sleep. Then during lunchtime, I can get like 2 hours of rest. And that should bring me to like the average of 8 hours. And that should be okay. But I don't know if that's possible. Yeah, it's kind of stupid, but I can't think it'll work out. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't treat my body like this, but it feels quite difficult. Yeah. I mean, so I'm gonna be really honest with you guys. Working isn't as easy as it sounds. But money is good. It's always good to have more money. It's always good to have a little bit of money. Money is always good. But, I feel like there is a point where you take in so much of work to do, you take in so much of the culture that you change. And change isn't necessarily bad. But change always makes you lose a part of yourself. Yet you gain a lot of new things in the process, but you lose a part of yourself. And I think it's always important to remember the version of you that once was. Okay? Like, never forget what you initially set out to do. Never forget your initial goals. Because at the end of the day, although as sucky as it is, you might lose a part of yourself from work. This was all you dreamt about back then. When you were careerless, this was all you dreamt about. When you didn't have a car, this was all you dreamt about. And that keeps me going. That lets me know that, hey, I can make it. I'm sure you can make it too. Yeah. I mean, yeah, to be fair, today feels really more like a rant. It's like I'm ranting about my experience, but it is what it is. I'm not perfect. I don't really have scripts written out. I'm doing car videos just because of the record the progress of this beautiful car. And I like cars. And I do hope that in the future I'll get to work in the automotive industry. Right? I feel like it'll be sort of similar to what I'm dealing with now, right? Where I really want to work in a certain industry. But once I get to work, it's not as sunshine and rainbows as I thought it was. Right? I feel like that's the... Oh, there's so much grime on the floor. But yeah, I feel like that's the same case with the automotive industry. I feel like it's not all sunshine and rainbows. But, at least I have something I sort of want to do. Content creation, automotive. I don't think they are probable careers, right? I think there are a lot more viable careers out there. But then, these two in particular, it's stuff I'm interested in. I think it'll be nice to have as a hobby. Yeah. But hopefully I am able to get some shut-eye. It's 1 minute left till I reach my office. Thank you guys for watching. I hope that we'll see each other less like this. That means that I'm actually getting proper rest. But in case you guys ever need help, in case you guys are worried, you guys are facing like a really unknown thing, just know that you can make it. Look, I made it, man. I'm not that good with my grades, not the smartest tool in the shed. Shout out Smash Mouth. I'm not particularly what's the term? I'm not particularly talented in terms of much, right? I'm sort of like a jack of all trades. You know, I'm a jack of all trades. I've always have been, always will be, and it's not particularly bad. Life finds a way. You go on. You start living. Whether or not you do it the way you want to, whether or not you end up how you want it to be. That sounds really rambly, but yeah, you sort of make it in the end, whether you want to or not, because survival is important, and we're built to survive. Okay, no matter how bad things become, right? It's always doable, right? I know people who've been through worse, they crawl back up. A lot of time, the only reason you're not crawling back up is because you're not going in the right direction with crawling back up. But there's tons of people who can guide you through this. There's tons of people. You just gotta know who to ask. And you just gotta, trust. Trust in God. Like God's been treating me really well. I mean, I'm a Christian. I'm not trying to push my ideologies, but feels I'm really thankful and grateful for the life I have. It's, it's crazy to think that I'm living my dream life. Although yes, my dream life kind of sucks because I don't think I did put enough planning into my dream life. But I'm in my dream life. I like my life right now. Do I think I'm terribly overworked? Yes. Do I think that you know it's really fucking up my senses and stuff? Yeah. Do I think that it could be a better dream life? I don't know yet, and that's for me to figure out, and that's for you yourself to figure out. But yeah, thanks for watching. See you next time. Like, subscribe, comment what you think about this. But yeah, see you guys in the next video.